MoneyPot about to start.
I know, I'm coming, man.
Yeah, grab your notepad, man, for real.
All right, dog, fuck it, man, come on.
Yeah, man, they be spitting shit, man.
True.
Man. Yeah.
Tie-dye nipple.
MoneyPot, money talk. All they do is talk facts. Bird gang.
Hello, open it didn't work. That's all right.
360 on the new view. Go run, tell the ad. 40-yard dash time. Moss Money Podcast time. S.co headlines. MoneyPot.
He makes so much. He makes so much that he breaks into the midfield. The bodies. God. Touchdown. Money.
All right, we're going to cut the music, man. It's too early to be bumping like that, huh, Tommy? I just got my coffee. We are live here at MoneyPot Podcast presents Agreeing to Disagree with Tom Arnone. We got Tom Arnone from A2D Radio. Tommy, you with me? Uh-oh, missed him. All right. He got to come back on the show. So thank y'all for joining. We'll wait for Tom to get back here. And this show, just to let you know what this show is about, a little bit different from the show that we do on Friday. This show is collaborating with A2D Radio, starting hopefully a good business partnership where me and Tom, we talk about topics in sports, maybe not sports, across everything, where we are going to disagree. Similar to like a PTI, if you guys watch Partner Interruption, Toss Up, where we throw up pretty much a topic and we have to disagree. We cannot agree. A little bit different than what Tom does on his show with A2D Radio. Is that, they usually typically, agree or disagree on each topic and they go through it. But here we have to disagree. So that gives us a chance to really kind of like go bat at each other. And, we take tally, we take scores. Obviously, I haven't lost. So we'll wait for Tom to get back on and see if he can come back in the finals like Bron. And if you didn't catch the show last night, we had some really good bets last night, so make sure you go check that. Hit that like button. Go ahead and find us on YouTube, MoneyPot Podcast. And then today is obviously the show once Tom gets on. And then tomorrow, me and B. Diddy will be on for the pregame show. We'll go through the rest of the divisional games for the NFL playoffs and all the games that are going on that just passed, actually. We'll do a quick recap. And we might even throw in some NBA games. We might get Chris Farm, man. Shout out to Chris Farm, newest member of the MoneyPot Podcast team. He's going to be our guy looking into basketball, college hoops, and stuff. So, all right. Tommy, where'd you go, man? Leaving me hanging. Oh, you know what? I bet you he doesn't have his basement. There he is. No notes, Tom. You good, buddy?
I guess.
Yeah? You missed the whole spiel. I had to hold down the fort, man. What's going on with you over there?
You tell me. Every time I come in here, I get an issue. If it's now all of a sudden Bluetooth won't connect, it's a mess for me. It's a mess.
It's one of those mornings, man.
I'm 0 for 4. 0 for 4 now.
Yeah. That puts you. Yeah. It's a new series now. It's a new series now. Yeah, that one put you at a loss for sure. Like I was saying, man, thanks for everybody who's holding on. If you just joined, make sure you hit that like button. Give a quick recap real quick. This is a show called MoneyPot Podcast presents Tom, Agreeing to Disagree with Tom Arnone with me and Tom. Tom is from A2D Radio. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of him. He's got the loudest mouth in the goddamn area. We disagree about different sports topics, and we cannot agree. We have to go against each other. So let's not keep the people waiting. Let's get right into it, Tom. First topic of the day, going to hockey. What about this disrespect that, was it Jacob, help me with this last name, Voracek?
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Yeah. Jacob Voracek to the media. He called him a weasel. Was that warranted? Do you agree or disagree?
I agree because I hate the media sometimes. Not all the guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there.
Even though you own a media company.
Yep. I'm
Right.
anti big business, right? I guess I'm anti big business with that. No, I mean, I have no problem with what he said because again, I don't know what this guy's writing about him. There's a lot of guys out there with agendas when they print stuff and they don't get all the facts and
Yeah.
they're looking for clicks. So obviously for him to say something like that, that's why I love hockey guys because they don't give a crap and they'll say whatever they want. So I like what he said. I think there's definitely validity behind it, and at least somebody says it because there's a lot of guys out there that I'm sure don't want to sit up there and say, well, you're going to write whatever the hell you want anyway. So what does it matter what I say?
All right. Shout out to Andy Ritter, man. What up, family? Thanks for jumping on, man. Showing love. Make sure you hit that like button, bro. Of course, I'm going on the other side, man. Of course, we're not here to agree. We got to wake everybody the fuck up, man. Of course of course he didn't deserve it. Are you serious? It's a person over there, man. He's doing his job. This is the media's job. They're supposed to report the facts and come up with these stories, right? If you don't like it, then don't take the job. Go be a high school hockey coach or go do some fucking figure skating and go over there in the skating rink. Man, don't get your panties in a bunch, man. Man up. We don't got time for this shit in the morning. All right, next one.
Said man up.
Kyrie Irving's mental health to play. Now I know you've gone in on Kyrie Irving, and it's a subjective. When I was thinking about this topic, I said I want to be careful about mental health because there's a lot of people out there who do have mental health. So we're not trying to make fun of anybody who has mental health or mental health issues. We all have seen it. We probably have seen it in our personal family, but in this case, when the man's getting paid $30-something million to play, right? And he comes in and says, he needed to take a break. He needed his mental health. At this level of what is expected of him when he signs a contract, do you agree or disagree about Kyrie Irving's mental health? Tough one. It's a tough one. It's a touchy one, too.
Yeah, it's a touchy one. Mental health is a real thing. Like you said, I disagree. To being like an excuse for him, right? He's all out of whack. I think he's become a bad teammate, and if your mental health's that bad, your money's guaranteed to you. So call quits. Help your team. Help your teammate.
There you go.
Move forward without you then, because nobody's forcing you to play basketball, and that's the thing. Nobody, like even through the COVID situations, nobody out there was going to force people to play or make decisions that weren't best for their family, right? So, if a guy doesn't want to play or whatever the case may be, now we're a year away from that. He says a lot about Kyrie as a teammate, and biggest issue with Kyrie Irving. Listen, guys, that people have mental health, and it's a real thing, but nothing excuses you for being a piece of shit teammate.
Ooh, there you go. Wake up, Tom. I like it.
I'm here.
Yeah, wake up. I'm going to completely disagree. Hold on. Which way did you go? You agree with it? I forgot which way you went.
Say it again, because I don't. I agree that
we need to get it together this morning. The topic was can Kyrie Irving use his mental health to not play, pertaining to the status that he holds. Obviously, he's getting paid $30 million. And I think you said, we explained we're not disagreeing with anything to do with mental health. Mental health is definitely a serious issue. But I think your stance was that he's a bad teammate. If his mental health is that problem, then walk away from the game.
Yeah, so I guess that would be a disagree then.
Yeah, disagree. Right. So I'm going to agree, obviously, on all the obvious sides that mental health is a real issue, and maybe this is his escape. All right, some kids growing up don't have anything else. It's not about the fame. It's not about the money. All they care is about the love of the game, and he's trying to find his way back to this game somehow, some way, and there's mental blocks there. So I think that if you look at it, he's doing what he needs to do to get himself ready, whether it be around his family, aka supposedly this party that he was at around family, whether it be spudging around the Boston Garden, whatever he needs to do to get himself ready to suit up and play with his teammates, then they should give him the time. Money ain't everything, even though it's guaranteed $35 million, but it's all good. Next, here I like this one, man. Deuce will be a good head coach.
Where, here?
Yeah, here. Yeah, here.
That's
I don't give a fuck if he go anywhere else.
Disagree.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I would say somewhere else maybe he would have a chance to succeed, but here I feel like it's just going to be, you're going to have to be everything has to go through Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, and you just become, a yes man, and that's never a good recipe for success. And I think the main reason the Eagles would give him the job was because he would be a yes man. Remember, this organization just failed. They won 4 games. Their head coach got fired. Deuce Staley was the assistant coach. So if the whole coaching staff failed, and which led to the head coach being fired, then I need all the coaches fired. Then I need to start over.
Right, blow it up.
Coach, so
blow it up, huh?
Blow it up, then.
Blow it up.
Deuce, but blow it up.
You took my side, man. You took my side. I love Deuce. I've actually sat down and played poker with Deuce a couple times, so I've actually had a chance to just kind of talk to him. Real cool dude. You get this old style, old feel to him, and even though you took my side, I'm gonna have to agree here. This is why you have assistant coaches. This is why you have OCs. This is why you have defensive coordinators. Not every head coach can be the O coordinator or be a defensive coordinator just because that's their specialty built in. I think Doug bit off more than he chewed by trying to be all that in one. And the head coach is to put people in position to win. The head coach is to make the decisions. The head coach is to bring up these young men into men, to tutor them and teach them how to only play the game of football and be professional, but outside as men as well. So I think Deuce can do that. I think Deuce has a respect of this locker room. I think Deuce has a respect of the city. And did Deuce get a ring with the Steelers, even though he didn't really play? He got a ring with the Steelers, didn't he? Did he?
I don't know if he got a ring. That's a good question.
Well, he got a ring with us, so I guess that's all that matters at the end of the day. Yeah. So I thought he might have got one when he was, at the end of his career there at Pittsburgh. But even though he's been under good leaders, and you can question if Doug is a good leader, but I think he is. He's got a winning record and a Super Bowl resume. So I think he's done well, in my opinion. But Deuce is going to be a good head coach for sure. It's not all about. I think we're getting mixed up because a lot of head coaches start to take on more tasks. If he can just be a head coach, I think he'd be all right.
Bring in the right guys around them.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We're going to Phillies, man. JT. What's his last name? Realmuto.
Yeah.
Yeah, the catcher. JT Realmuto just received a 5-year deal for $100 million. Question is, agree to disagree? Will he be a Philly this upcoming season?
If you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I would have been a hard disagree on this. I thought they were really far apart. I think the market has almost helped the Phillies in this and hurt JT Realmuto. So I'm going to say agree. JT Realmuto is back. And if he is back, let me tell you something. This organization redeemed itself a little bit. I mean, they still have a ways to go, but they couldn't let him go. And the fact that they might be able to get him for 5 years, $100-something million is honestly a steal. and you almost call that a hometown discount when it's not a discount. It's just what the market has leveled out to be, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's nobody left to sign him. That's the thing. He can go to a bad team and probably get overpaid, but does he want to go to a bad team? Doesn't seem like that kind of guy. So I'm gonna agree that JT Realmuto is back with the Phillies.
It's the fucking Phillies we're talking about. Of course I'm going to disagree. They always find a way to fuck it up. Hometown discount or not, he wants to get paid. He wants to be one of the highest paid catchers in the league. That was the goal. If it was with the Phillies, even a more cherry on the top. But we're talking about the Phillies, man. They fuck it up some way, somehow. He's not going to be a Philly. No fucking way. I don't believe it. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Thanks for jumping on, man. Anybody else on there, man? Make sure you hit a comment. If y'all want to add to the conversation, be sure to we'll throw it up on the chat. Make sure you hit the like button if you guys like me busting up Tom, man, every morning, man. Tom's got to get it together, man. He's 0 for 4, man. We thought we were building up the story that this was the LeBron comeback to the Warriors, right? This was the build up, but he didn't start off on the right fucking foot this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, got me going here, man.
I started out struggling, man.
All right, let's go to football, man. So many people picking plays. Obviously, MoneyPot Podcast, we did our run through of our best bets last night. But Tom, over in you guys, man. I know Willie didn't have a good weekend, but is there going to be a divisional game upset? Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Mm-hmm. Who you got with the big upset? Cleveland?
Where do you start? I mean, listen, it gets started. I mean, we don't even need to, Nate, we don't even got to get to Cleveland. We could just start with the first game on the docket today, which I believe is the Rams at Green Bay.
Ooh.
It all looks like Green Bay should roll them. Green Bay's without their left tackle.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
If we know the one thing the Rams do well, they can get after you.
Yep.
They get after Rodgers. They got a defense to go to Lambeau and beat them. Now, do I think they're good enough to do it? No, but I think that could start the whole party off today. I think when you look at all 4 games, you can make a case. Now, we're in the playoffs, obviously, but you can make a case that all 4 road teams could win. I don't think all 4 do, but I can see 2 road teams win for sure.
For sure. So you agree? We're going to see an upset today.
Yeah, we're seeing an upset today.
We're seeing an upset today. Ooh. So I'm gonna disagree here. Of course, we have the Rams. We'll give a quick case for either one. We're going to Lambeau. The Rams are going to Lambeau. Rodgers is 6-0 against the spread against the Rams. The over's going over 6 times. And the reason why the over is going over because you got a healthy Jared Goff. You don't have that. He's got a messed up thumb. They're going to have to run the ball to win. I think this is Rodgers' year where he gets himself back to the Super Bowl. Next game, Buffalo's been on a hot streak all fucking year. You know what I mean? I think the Ravens run into another train. They got over the hump with that Tennessee game. That was a big game for them. They want to keep it going, but Josh Allen is just going to be too much. I don't even got to say much about Cleveland and fucking KC. Andy Reid off a bye. We know what that looks like.
Yeah.
And then who's the last one? Oh, yeah, the history game. Tampa and New Orleans. And if you look at this year, New Orleans has owned Tampa. Brady's year and run is over. Bruce Arians has no idea how to beat Sean Payton. It's a total coaching mismatch. You can chalk all the favorites. Hey, but that's just for this show. Make sure you check me out what we really said about the best bets last night. And we're going to be on tomorrow around, I think we're going to go on 11 because there's only 2 games to really talk about. Next. All right. Ooh, I like this one. Maxey's going to be Rookie of the Year for the Sixers. What do you say? Maxey's getting some steam too. What we say?
Rookie
Browns
of the year.
win today. Anthony Browns win today. They beat the Chiefs. Ugh, I don't know about that. That's like poking a bear. But go ahead, Tommy.
So
You want me to start it off? Give you something to think about for a second?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Start
All
this
right.
one.
I'm going to. I'm the easiest side. I think is the easy to disagree, but I'm going to agree. I think sooner or later, Maxi's going to jump into the starting lineup. He's just going to play his way into the starting lineup, and that's going to give him more opportunities. Obviously, the other guys that are on this docket, Ball, Wiseman, and somebody from Sacramento. I'm not too familiar with him, but somebody from Sacramento. If you look at the numbers, I think what's his name? He fell to them late. I forget his name off the top of my head, but I know obviously the people we know, Wiseman and with Golden State, Anthony Edwards, I think his name is, over in Timberwolves, Ball, and obviously we have Maxey. So those are the top rookies as of right now. It's super early, but I think sooner or later Maxey's going to get more minutes. He's going to start to pick up, and if he doesn't start, he's going to start to pick up that Lou Williams type minutes where he's almost like a sixth starter. And with him getting more minutes, with Ben being as timid as he is, with Seth playing within the offense, being a spot-up shooter, Tobias is more of a pick-and-roll guy. Danny Green is another spot-up shooter. You only really have one guy who can get to the cup. You know what I mean? And that's Maxey. You know what I mean? And I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see the kid grow right before our eyes. I think he already came out. I think you guys posted this time. He loves it here in Philly. And when you put out that love and you receive that same love back from the city and you show up, that's a recipe for winning. So I think that I think Maxey does win Rookie of the Year. I'll get those odds for y'all too. See what those early odds are. They're probably like plus 600.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what Hawaii said. Just knowing the NBA landscape and how they operate, I don't see any way that they would allow the 21st pick of the draft this year to win Rookie of the Year. They would make every case and turn over every rock,
right,
to be able to give it to one of the lottery guys, and especially a guy like LaMelo. I mean, I think this is LaMelo's to lose.
It is. I agree.
He's a lightning rod. The whole family's a lightning rod, and now in more of a good way than a bad way.
Absolutely. He taught it into existence.
Yeah, I just think it's his to lose. He's already gotten better. To me, he was you know what? I say that, but Anthony Edwards had a really good rookie year too. So Anthony Edwards has proven he can score. I think LaMelo has proven he can do a little bit of everything. So it's funny, but I think it's between Edwards and LaMelo, and I think Tyrese, can he be top 5 in voting at the end of the year? Yeah, I'll agree there for sure. But the winning, I think it's just too tough for him. He's got to go up against the first and third pick of the draft.
Yeah. Good defense. Good defense. I like that recovery. Yeah, Anthony, the Browns do have the momentum, but when you think about it, and we do this on my show, when we break down the psychology and the game flow, think about that Browns game. It was the first time the Browns made the playoffs, and God knows when we were all still young, probably watching pro wrestling or some shit, right? And then if you think of it like that, that was their Super Bowl. Right, that getting that win, because like you said, nobody had them winning, and the way they won in that game, which was pretty much they beat the bullshit out of the Steelers. They sent Ben packing home to retirement bus. If you think of the way they won, that was their big win. That was their big spot. Now they're going to the Chiefs, where there are going to be fans. Arrowhead is probably top 3 toughest place to play. Right, when you think of that, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to beat. It really is going to be tough to beat. And when I said earlier about poking the bear, think about I'm pretty much everybody saw Michael Jordan's Last Dance, at least part of it, right? And you see these comments and these, these stories about how, like the story about Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was a rookie talking shit. You know what I mean? Talking about this man ain't nothing. Michael Jordan ain't nothing. And what did he do? He poked the fucking bear. And what Mike do? Go drop fucking 40 of them and a half. You know what I'm saying? This is like, that's what KC is to me. They'll play around for the regular season, but when the lights are on, when it's game time, it might get ugly in KC today. Tomorrow. It might get ugly in KC. You know what I mean? Okay. So, That's how we break down the games when you think of stuff like that. I know there's a lot of rec bettors, and out you in Jersey, Tom. I don't know if you're aware of this. You motherfuckers did $1 billion in sports betting last month. In a month, not a year. $1 billion in sports betting. And you tell me all them people know how to actually sports bet? Nah, I don't think so, buddy. We're playing. They're playing with mortgage money, man. All right, next one. This is a really good one.
A lot of dudes' wives kicked them out this month.
Yeah, make sure y'all come follow us, man, because we'll get you back in the house. No more the doghouse. This is a good one here, Tommy. And this is a good one for everybody else out there, man, because it's been debated for the last probably 5 to 10 years. LeBron James is the GOAT. Agree to disagree, Tom?
Disagree.
Disagree? Ah, you took the good side.
Yep.
Go ahead. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Listen, what he's been able to do and play this long, is unbelievable, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. It's impossible to do. But I don't want to compare that side of it to other generations, because other generations, when you talk about Mike's generation, I mean, can they pay $2 million into putting the right stuff into their body? Did they have them advantages back in the 80s? I don't know if they had the advantages that athletes have now in terms of longevity, right?
Yeah.
We see it in all sports. Longevity is really a thing now. Like, guys can play to their 40. It's crazy, right? And it's not just baseball. Like, you're seeing it in football with the quarterback. So, listen, is he a top 3 player of all time? For sure. Absolutely. I'm not an idiot. I've watched the guy for 20 years now. I mean, he's the same age as me. He's 38. You know what I mean? It's almost like we grew up together in a way. but baby Tom just never forgets Mike. Baby Tom never forgets the killer. Baby Tom will never forget the alpha male in the room. That's what baby Tom will never forget. So until more rings than Jordan, he's not the GOAT.
Not the GOAT. Because I am a Jordan fan, right? Of course. You know what I mean? So I've always argued this side, but I've let go of the argument and let people who talk about Bron as being the GOAT. And I'm going to say this. The reason why Bron is the GOAT, because just like you said, you've seen him for 20 years, right? We've seen him do this year night in and night out. He plays almost every game. We can talk about, people used to say, oh, well, the only thing we can say at this point is his record in the finals, which, Jordan is unblemished, and how many rings he has. But when we look at the total body of the career from high school, being named and tabbed the next thing. So it was either greatness or failure. This is the only level Bron could do and be considered a success. Anything else under this level would be considered a complete failure. The pressure that was put on this kid, the spotlight that was put on this kid, and I say this, and I always say this to people, his career is the greatest career we've ever seen. Maybe outside of Floyd if you're a boxing guy. But we've seen him go from young LeBron to where he is now. We've seen the whole thing in front of our eyes. We can't say that about Jordan. Or at least I can't say that about Jordan because I'm not old enough to say that about Jordan. I didn't see Jordan in North Carolina. I didn't really see Jordan that much in early Chicago. You know what I mean? I saw Jordan. I got around the basketball more in like those 90s runs. You know what I mean? Because I was at that age. But when you take that and you look at that, and if he keeps going, right, it doesn't look like he's slowing down. That's the crazy thing. He's going to break Kareem's record of most points scored for sure, in my opinion. So when you look at the body of work that he's done, and let's not even forget, I think it's hard to separate it, but when you look at what he's done off the court as well, right? The things that he's done, the school, all the being a leader for the black community, all that stuff encompassing of who LeBron James is the GOAT, man. Without a doubt.
Mike's done a lot of that stuff.
Recently. Not early, Mike.
Fair.
Not early, Mike. LeBron's been doing it since day one. He's been trying to build Cleveland since he's got to Cleveland.
The only thing I disagree, because he was supposed to be great and was great.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
That's
but
a lot of pressure. We have no idea how much pressure that is for a kid. Like they're interviewing him at 17, 18 years old and saying, "Yo, you have to be better than Michael Jordan." Like this is the only way it works. The only way it works is if you can be better than Mike or be considered better than Mike.
man, I still think like I'm not. I still take Kobe over LeBron.
Ooh, not at
Kobe
this
over
point.
LeBron.
Not
I
at this
can't
point.
ever, like. I mean, Mamba might be like a guys that I watched, right? And like, you know what I mean? Like in like the guard position, like small forward or guards. Like when you talk about LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan. Like
Right.
I might put Kobe 2,
I,
LeBron 3.
Kobe was a killer. Now, we're not. I don't want to dismiss Kobe, but to me, at this point, and this is be the first time in history I'll break the argument. I actually agree with you. You can put me on thing. I am a Jordan fan. I think it goes Jordan 1A, and LeBron 1B. That's how I look at it at this point. There's no 1 and 2 in my opinion, because this longevity, it's like talking about a boxer who fights tomato cans, but you can't consider him the great because in his generation, this is what he had to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like this is who he knocked out, right? There's always that argument, but it's not his fault that science and technology advanced so much where he has the opportunity to put himself in a better position. Like obviously the rumors are true, and you see other players doing it. You see the Russell Wilsons, you see I think even Tom Brady, like where they put $1 million+ into their body. You know what I'm saying? It was unheard of until that really came out publicly about LeBron, how much money he spends on making sure. But it's obviously paying off. Was it year 18, and he's still jumping out the roof, and he looked like what was Jordan? You know, in Washington, Jordan had some good time, but it was a very washed down Mike. This Bron is not prime Bron, but let's not get it twisted. He's still a top 3 player in the league. Not even close. All right.
Oh, absolutely. Did you see a dunk last night before we
came
on?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I was like, what's that guy, 25 still?
Yeah, did you see the kid? Did you see the kid under him? He didn't know what to do. He crossed his arms.
And that's what, listen, in the moment, and I've always said this about greatness, right? In the moment, and I've learned as I got older to try to soak it in, right? Like in the moment, we hate greatness if they're not here, if they don't play for our team. And that's just the way sports works. Now, I probably hated Mike when he was beating us up, right? I hated LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But then once their careers are over, you're like, man, like I even had the same thing about Kobe, and I loved Kobe. But it's like I hated
Kobe.
I hated him, right?
I hated because he beat us in the finals without Shaq. That's why I hated Kobe. He took over the game. We got Shaq. Once Shaq went out the game, we thought we were good, and then that motherfucking Mamba showed up, and it was just curtains. We couldn't do anything. Shout out to Doug, man. What's up, Doug? LeBron too worried about what people think. Jordan obsessed about making sure opponents feared him. I agree. I think Jordan obsessed more about being just great. Like he's like I don't know. He want. It's hard to say because he did want people to know who he was. Like you better bring everything you got because it's still not enough. What else he say? He said Jordan had a hell of a lot more physical taxing on that body because of how much he got hit hard all those years. It is hard to compare the eras, but if you put Bron in that era, he's going to do exactly what he's doing now, in my opinion. There's nobody was the most imposing or physical, as strong, as fast as he was. So when you compare the eras, were there more tough guys back in that time? We say that about every era. We say that about football. We say that about every single era. But I think Bron is timeless. You put Bron in that era, everything he's doing right now, he will be doing in that era. Period.
Yeah, greatness.
Yeah, greatness
is
transparent.
Yeah, greatness plays in any era. I never was a big believer in that. Was the game tougher, more physical in the 80s? Sure. Nobody's going to run from that. That's factual.
Yeah, that's facts.
But like Larry Bird could play right now and maybe drop 80. Okay, so greatness. You know, if anything, it was harder to score back then than it is now. But credit to LeBron, he's never really been a guy that like Kobe, where he's going to average 30 now at this point of his career, right? So he's just been a really good scorer. But the thing that separates LeBron and makes him great is that he's great at everything that comes in the game of basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, facts. And let's not forget the three. Jordan wasn't a great 3-point shooter. It's all twos, all mid rangers. All right, Anthony, I can't put that in the chat. It's a long thing, but Anthony says in the 80s is about more physical than now because then you always was there met better competition. Today's game is mediocre teams. Back then, they played the game basketball not for money. Today's players want to get traded for every little thing that goes wrong instead of talking about the situation. Today's players only worried about how much money they can make instead of the love of the game. There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that.
Anthony, you know I love you, brother. But don't tell me in the 80s and 90s
they didn't want to get paid.
They didn't want to get paid. Come on, come on. Money's always has been and revolved around sports. Like, I mean, I'm not a guy who's looking for money, but I mean, why do you think most of us want to talk about going pro when we're little? We don't know about the money. We just love sports. But don't think it doesn't become a business immediately.
How much? Yeah, Bron flops. There's some selling points with Bron, especially at this age. He knows he's going to get those calls. But at the same time, we watch it on TV. You just don't understand how big and how fast and how strong some of these guys move. So yes, is some of the flop warranted? Is he a goddamn tight end running through the lane like a guard? Absolutely. But these boys are getting hit. These are big bodies moving around, man. So let's not forget about that. All right, last one of the day. I think maybe even the best one of the day. Let's see what you Jersey boys think over there, Tom. D'Alessandro's best cheesesteaks in Philly.
See, I disagree.
Oh, yes, I love it.
I'm the old school slop guy, man. I'll never run from it. Listen, I know that the big chain places over there aren't the best steaks. I get it. I totally understand it. And everybody's going to say, oh, the tourist trap, Tom. I know. There's nothing better than getting smashed and going to Geno's.
Oh, my God. Better. Not you, Tom. Stop it.
There's nothing better than this.
You could have said anywhere else but fucking Geno's. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? This is why y'all ass in ATD radio stay the hell over in Jersey. What is that? Oh, you could have said Jim's. You could have said Max's. You could have said Larry's. You said Geno's?
Not the best. Not the best.
Of course it's D'Alessandro's. Oh, my God. Absolutely it's D'Alessandro's. What are we talking about here? First, the meat needs to be chopped up. It's not a goddamn patty. That's the first mistake, okay? And it's American cheese, not cheese fucking whiz. I don't know where. It's so funny when everybody runs the Geno's and Pats. And it's just like, why? It's terrible. I can't believe you even said that. That's like a steak-em.
No, my whole point behind it was I like the grease. I like the disgustingness of it. I like the tourist trap of it.
Oh,
I like everything that goes in with the nastiness that is a Geno steak because I've never eaten, I'll be honest with you, I've never eaten a cheesesteak in Philadelphia, inside the city, without being hammered. It's never happened. I've never just said, I'm going to go over to the city for a cheesesteak because honestly, we got a lot of good cheesesteak places 2 minutes from my house in Jersey. So we all know this by now. You know what I mean? It's like it was 20 years ago where you had to go to Philly to get any good food you wanted. So whenever I go over there,
yeah,
it's hammer talk, and it's like, well, what soaks up all the alcohol for me? Oh, it's the Geno. D'Alessandro's ain't soaking up my alcohol.
Oh man, I can't believe you said Geno's, man. We're going Geno's. Oh my God, jeez. Have you had a D'Alessandro's cheesesteak? Let me first ask that.
Part of the reason too, I haven't. I didn't want to there, but if anyone wants to send it to me, 400 West 30.
Oh man, that's the number one reason why. Okay, all right. I'll give you a slight pass.
I've had Jim's. I've had obviously Tony Luke's. I've had Talk of the Town, which is right over the bridge. I've had a bunch. I just never had D'Alessandro's.
Wow. Oh yeah. Man. What's the before we cut off here, man? What's the best cheesesteak in Jersey? Because I have no idea. Best cheese. But I'm tempted to even take your opinion because you're talking about Geno's right now.
I just wanted to be the lightning rod. I knew it was going to take a lot of heat. I sometimes take one for the team.
There you go.
Gaetano's is delicious over the bridge. And if you want a monster cheesesteak and a big boys, Gaetano's. If you haven't had Gaetano's cheesesteaks, they're freaking delicious. I don't think anybody out there is going to agree with me on that one or disagree with me on that one.
Yeah.
Probably the best one in Jersey, but there's one right over the Walt Whitman Bridge when you come in, like if you're coming onto the Black Horse Pike.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. And I lived right down the street from my whole life. And I can't remember what it is, but it's right there. Somebody's going to know what it is. It's right on the Black Horse Pike. They got great cheesesteaks too, but their hours are weird. Like they're not open like a normal place, like all till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
If you don't get them before like 7, they close. But if you haven't, try
Gaetano's. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure whenever I come over that side of the house, we'll check it out. All right, that's the show for today, folks. I want to thank everybody for jumping on. Make sure you hit that like button. Tomorrow, I will be back on here with my guy B Diddy to talk about the recap of the division games from today, and then talk about the other two. We'll have some prop bets. Also, I'll be having some UFC picks today. So make sure you jump and follow me on the gram. I will post. I'll throw together some parlays for today for them UFC picks. So for me, another win, of course. We're going to see if Tommy can come back next week. Next week, agreeing to disagree with Tom Arnone from the guys at A2D Radio, MoneyPot Podcast. We out.
No, Nate's playing games. We'll talk.